So the federal unemployment is set to end very soon, very soon. And very few, if any, of our politicians have seemingly anything to say about it. So the federal unemployment that was put in place by the CARES Act back in 2020, and of course it was extended. So when it first began, it was $600 a week. And then they cut it to $300 a week because your government loves you so much. Now it's about to be cut abruptly on, here we go now, Labor Day. What a fitting end to this entire charade. So let's get into this. So first and foremost, nobody's really talking about this. Nobody, as in the people that actually have the ability to do something about it, i.e. our quote-unquote political leaders. I haven't seen Bernie Sanders causing much of a riot. Apparently AOC has been saying something, kudos to her. But I haven't seen any of the other Justice Democrats or anybody else that's notable truly speaking about this very, very important issue. So what I want to do firstly is read you a couple of statistics that are very ominous and are extremely depressing. So the federal unemployment programs in place since March 2020 will end this weekend in all states. And this is indeed Labor Day weekend, as I stated previously. And I also want to state that over 26 states, all Republican and one Democratic state, have ended the federal unemployment, $300 a week federal unemployment boost during the summer. So during the months of June and July, they went ahead and took a step forward and ended it because of a supposed labor shortage. And we'll get into that in just a second. Almost 9 million Americans will lose benefits entirely. Another 3 million or so will see aid reduced by $300 a week, according to the Century Foundation. Wow. What a harrowing fact that is. 42% of unemployed workers have been out of work for 6 months or more, compared to the 19.3% in February 2020, a level that matches the very worst period of the Great Recession in 2011. While there are 9.5 million Americans officially unemployed, the Economic Policy Institute finds that there are another 10.4 million workers still suffering from the unemployment downturn as of June, including 4.4 million individuals who have dropped out of the labor force altogether. 3 out of 4 on unemployment will lose benefits on September the 6th. Now, a study was done, and the conclusions of this study are very bad. It was done by economists to basically figure out the ratio of the rise in jobs as opposed to the cut in the benefits, because what they tell you is that, oh, it's these unemployment benefits and the government quote unquote handouts that's preventing people from going to work, right? Okay, the conclusions of this study found that for every 8 workers who lost benefits, only 1 managed to find a new job. And not only did they find a new job, they found a dramatic reduction in spending, suggesting the people who lost the benefits were left in a precarious financial situation. So spending is down. And so they are saying that with the cut of all these benefits, during the months of, I believe it's September and October, or it could be October, November. I can't remember, but I think it's September and October. We're set to see a cut in overall spending of upwards of $8 billion. I hate to inform you, but that is much worse than giving people a meager $300 a week to survive. Recent research by academic scholars found that in states that cut benefits early, every dollar lost in benefits was offset by 7 cents in increased earnings. That means that the Labor Day weekend cuts would cause something like $8 billion in reduced spending during September and October, said Aaron Dragit-Dube, an economist at the University of Massachusetts Amherst and one of the researchers who analyzed the effect of the early benefit cutoffs. So do you kind of get now that I've read you those facts, those statistics, can you kind of get a little bit of an idea of what's happening here? So they gave us the fake news about the labor shortage, and it's not really a labor shortage. What's happening is they're trying to cut benefits and take money away from people, take food out of people's mouths to make them so very desperate that they'll go and take up the low-paying jobs that these employers are now offering them, because these employers, they've cut their wages because they're trying to recoup from what they've lost due to the pandemic. This profit-driven, greedy system that it's squeezing the life out of workers in this country, out of the American people. And some people are being quote unquote forced back into the labor force through those means. But there are other people that are staying out and protest, and good on those people. And then there are others that haven't returned because of situations with their children. A lot of people are facing roadblocks as far as it goes with childcare and things. The Delta variant is running rampant through the country now. We're seeing upticks in cases and deaths, and people don't want to return to the workforce for that reason. There are so many different aspects to, in contribution to why people are not just jumping up to go back to work, quote unquote. But no, to the corrupt politicians, it's all the fault of the unemployment benefits. It's all the fault of the government. That's what they would have you to believe. And these benefits are set to expire. Joe Biden and his entire administration have already said that they're fine with the benefits expiring. They've already said it. Joe Biden and his administration cut you a one-time $1,400 check and said that's all you'll need. Student loan payments are set to resume in early January, I believe, early of 2022. The unemployment benefits end in a day. They end tomorrow on Monday. This video has been recorded on Sunday. The eviction moratorium has expired, and we are doing nothing on that front. We're facing a looming eviction crisis. We already have over 500,000 people on the streets as it is. Evictions are happening as we speak. So many crises are about to befall this country, and our leaders are simply satisfied with inaction. And that's essentially a synonym for neoliberalism, inaction, because you just sit idly by as the country burns, and then you turn around and try to tell people to vote for you. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And the fucked up part is the other side, aka the Republicans, offer even worse conditions. But when you do this to people and you starve them and you don't help them during a pandemic, during an economic recession, you can liken it to a depression, they tend to turn to different outlets, and they may go and vote for that party that's offering even worse, even less things. And they'll listen to them when they critique you because you are very deserving of said critique, and it applies. So we may be looking at a wash. We may not be. I don't know what's going to happen. But if the Biden administration doesn't do something, and doesn't do something fast, a lot of people in this country are going to suffer.